Bang! Welcome, everybody.
What news group?
Bang!
Thanks for being here. Let's see. I gotta
Are you
get to the.
going to be bringing up the blue leak stuff? Is that why you got that mask on?
No, we're masked
Are
up
you,
for
uh,
safety. We're masked up
Going to
for
be
safety.
bringing up the blue leak stuff? Is that why you got that mask on?
No, masked up for safety.
Am I echoing?
No, it was me. It was the stream coming up on my secondary screen.
Thanks, everybody, for putting up with our technical difficulties every week.
Every single week.
We're all figuring it out. Hey, Peanut, welcome. Uneasy Rider, Glenpool.
It's
Johnny
hard
Grunt,
when I
what's
have
up?
when I have that other screen pulled up. It brings a sound into it, and there's no way for me to mute the sound for the stream as we're waiting for it. I have to get it as it starts, and sometimes it's a pain in the ass to catch it.
Yeah. Hey, Steve and Jenny, you finally did make one. I see you always missed it. Thanks for being here. Thank
Good evening,
everybody watching. Hit the thumbs up button. 19 watching. And MisMash is the name of the game tonight. We're kind of talking about a little bit of everything. We didn't have anybody that wanted to swim with Jaws and come debate with the captain again or anything. Government accountability is back.
That's a great point, too. As you could tell, probably the talking different now. But yeah, I don't want to have to explain why if I'm wearing a mask to anybody.
Yep.
Because I feel like it has nothing to do with me being brainwashed or anything like that. I'm wearing a mask because I feel like it. But some places are mandating it. So
yeah, they've mandated it. Well, see, here's the kicker on that. They mandated it inside of Tampa, and Chief Brian Dugan is going to enforce it. But the Hillsborough County Emergency Policy Group mandated it for Hillsborough County also, except the lone no vote was our sheriff. And he said that he is not going to enforce the mask ordinance inside of the county. So I don't know what's going to happen yet.
It's a hard thing to police, and when we were in Tampa, they didn't really seem like they were giving anybody a hard time about it.
No, I've seen several reports on the news here and there that they are, but I haven't heard of anything yet really that they've pushed. So I don't know.
I'm looking for the actual wording. I haven't found it. If anybody else can find it, the Pinellas County ordinance, how it's written. I want to see that because apparently the sheriff said it's also going to be lenient and use your best judgment kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's not really going to be that enforced either. But if anybody wants to know how to tie a shamag, I'll demonstrate.
Thing that's crazy is the businesses are going to be the ones that are going to police it the most. You know what I mean? Their own employees. So people that work for places are going to be forced to, whether they like it or not.
Yep. So here's the kicker of this whole fucking mask ordeal that they have. This is one kicker. And I saw a couple of sheriffs talking about this. I think the Pasco County sheriff was, and I'm not sure if the other sheriff was or not. But as you see here, this is the Florida State statutes. Let me make it just a little bit bigger for everybody so that they can read it. Criminal anarchy, treason, and other crimes against public order. Wearing a mask, hood, or other device in a public way.
You got to read further.
Yeah, it says clearly, wearing a mask, hood, or other
device. You got to read further, Eyes. I'm going to stop you there because people keep bringing this one up, and there's an applicability statute.
There is? Where?
Look further.
Where?
This fogs up my glasses.
You got to go under the where the chapter 876.
Yep, I see a history for it from 1951.
No, that's not the only law on the books there. I can't get into my phone right now to find it for you, but it's under chapter 8. Okay, scroll down.
I see public property, property of another, demonstration or meeting.
876.155.
Okay. Oh, it doesn't let me click on it for some reason.
Well, then go to the Florida statutes one and find that.
876.155 right here. Right?
Yep, read that.
With the intent to deprive any person or class and persons the equal protection of the laws or equal privileges and immunities under the laws, or for the purpose of preventing the constituted authorities of the state or any subdivision, therefore, from or hindering them in giving or securing to all persons within this state the equal protections of the law, with the intent by force or threat of force to injure, intimidate, and fear with any person, with the intent to intimidate, threaten, abuse. Well,
So it says it starts with the provision of the chapter only apply only if the person is wearing a mask, hood, or other device with those intentions.
Okay, with those intentions.
Right. So concealed carry can't use it anymore just because they have a gun and it could be.
Okay,
Yeah,
so this is
that's
12 and
construed.
15. So 12 is right here. But nowhere inside of 12 does it reference to this.
That's
It
why you
doesn't
got to
say,
read. That's why you got to
please.
read. That's where you would correct the officer, because the officer would say something to you like 876.12, and then you'd be like, no, it only applies if I'm trying to deprive somebody of their rights or intimidate them or commit a forcible felony against them. Yeah, the thing we need to talk about though is what Wrights just said, which is, people who have concealed carry licenses might end up getting hemmed up if they're in the wrong place at the wrong time wearing a mask. I'm sure they're going to have exemptions. They're going to be able to explain their way out of certain like reasonable situations. You know what I mean?
Welcome, Noli D, ASD Docs, BS Express, and Hillbilly Patriot, and Maddie. What's up, Maddie? John DeLacola, thanks. Holden.
So we'll have
everyone.
to read this whole thing, huh, GA?
Yeah,
Correct.
we also have to read the new ordinance that they just drew up because each county is going to be different too.
Yep. Oh, inciting insurrection.
Yeah, a lot of people have already been charged with that. But I think the charges were dropped on most of them. So when people see people not wearing a mask, I tell them, don't they get mad. And there are people who are getting angry at people who are not wearing a mask. My grandmother can die and stuff. If you're wearing your mask, you should be all right. Tell your grandma to wear her mask. Clean up after that person if you have to. I don't think you'll have to. Right? Isn't that how everybody's happy? You have your mask on. Worry about you. And if I have a mask on, it shouldn't bother you. You shouldn't be bothered, and say there's a passage in the Bible,
Yeah, who
thou
cares
shalt
what
not wear a
anybody
mask.
else?
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm going to
That's pretty
trust
much
this one.
That's a big problem with the country today. Is too many people are worried about what other people are doing instead of themselves.
Jalapeno business.
It's a reason for a lot of 911 calls that should never be made. You know what I mean?
Lots of them.
It's stupid.
You want to post a link up for anyone who wants to join in? I think Andre Shouldn't Drink wants to join in.
All right,
ASD
sure.
Docs.
I did already. I'll do it again, though.
Cool. There you go. You just click on that, and happy to have you on, man. Noli D, we'd like to have you on whenever you want, and anybody else.
So
there's a link.
Have you guys heard anything about that Blue Leaks thing that I've mentioned?
No, which one's that?
Supposedly on Twitter, I guess anonymous. I guess they hacked something and got a bunch of like FBI files. There's all kinds of different stuff that's supposed to be included in it. I haven't figured out, where it was posted or how it was shared or any of that stuff, but there's supposed to be like a lot of stuff dealing with, the protests going on, how they've been sharing information and like tracking people's Facebook and Twitters and stuff like that, and then alerting
and faces,
different law enforcement.
Facial recognition stuff too. I heard about that.
Yeah. Hey, this defeats that facial recognition stuff.
They've been doing a lot of stuff. Haven has been doing a lot of them and other agencies have been doing a lot of, when people they're steal from Walmart, or they're doing the thing where I guess they call it skip scanning, or changing out different barcodes and all that crazy shit. Asking the public help for a lot, solving these crimes. And but when we have questions, they want to turn away from us or direct us to the PIO. Why do they need our help all the time? When we ask, for them to help us understand things and figure stuff out.
They wouldn't be able to figure out fucking shit if people didn't snitch on other people.
Not an imposter. I don't believe that. You keep writing that. That's enough. I don't think people are harmed by wearing masks for the first time in the history of wearing masks. Okay. If you wear an N95 mask all day long on your shift, it could be, but you're not wearing an N95 mask your whole entire day long on your shift. You're doing it when you go outside or the grocery store. Nurses and doctors and stuff that have to do that, then they have to worry.
No, Amazon, it's mandatory from the second you walk in the building to the time you leave. You're masked the entire time.
Okay, then that's bad. That's bad. Okay, that's bad. Yeah. My bad. But we get it. You don't have to keep caps locking it.
My sister works for a restaurant, and if she's wearing a shirt that has the logo for the restaurant in it and is caught out and is out in public with a mask, and say somebody takes a picture of it and posts it on Facebook, and they find out, she could be.
I was told specifically the N95 mask, not other regular breathable regular masks. This is N95 masks. You click on the link, scroll up.
What?
ASD.
That it's bad to wear them all day long?
Yeah, the N95 specifically.
Okay.
So did they give that out at Amazon?
I went in a statement and they were like...
That's what they're using at Amazon, though?
I went in a statement.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Unless you bring your own in, but if you don't have your own, then they have them that they give out.
No, we're just trying to cover all the different points, Steve and Jenny, but you want to tell us, what your point is. Please type it out or join us. We welcome all observations, questions, comments, agreements, and disagreements.
Yeah, I gotta lose this for a minute.
So I can't see much of the chat going on there unless I just click on the chat and stay in there.
Sure.
I could do that.
Okay, I had to drop that thing for a few minutes.
Man, oh no, put it back on, please.
I know it, right? Here, I'm just gonna go. I'll just go with this here, there. Now we're always in camera.
I think out of all of us, Eyes on the State has the highest female viewership percentage. What's up, ASD Docs? Welcome aboard.
How are you guys? How's everybody doing?
How are we doing this evening?
Doing very well. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for accepting me. And
that's horrible, Peanut. Sorry to hear that. We'll put a pin in that. What's up, ASD Docs? Yeah, well, you're welcome aboard, like I said, and it was a cool conversation we had earlier today. Did you get my text? I sent you a short 30-second video, not even 30 seconds.
There's an echo. Does anyone hear that, or is it just me?
I'm good.
Do you have the stream still running on your phone? I see you're using your phone possibly too.
Oh, yeah, you're listening to it.
Stream still
Just
on?
Mute it. You could keep it on so you could still see the chat, but mute it.
There we go. I eliminated. I had to close out a bunch of tabs. That's what it was.
Yep. It does it to me every time I start the stream. It pulls it in as it's coming on because I have the stream running on a second window to be able to kind of moderate the chat and stuff. So it does it to me too.
Wow, this is cool, guys. This is amazing that you guys get this all organized and stuff. So you guys do
Yeah,
this every what days do you guys do this?
Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday.
Wow, this is
Yeah,
great. This is fantastic. So who's involved in all this? I'm just wondering. So it's Rice
bang!
Krispie,
Bolt
Bang,
Action News
right.
Group.
So who's part of it? Anyone's a part of it, or how does it work?
Those guys, Rogue Nation, myself, and News Now
Oh,
South
so
Florida.
Eyes on the State is Rogue Nation.
No. These guys plus Rogue Nation, News Now South
Oh,
Florida,
okay.
and myself.
Oh, okay.
We are bang.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
We are bang.
you guys came together and you guys created Bang. So
Kind
you
of like
four.
the Lions of Voltron, yes. Basically the same thing. We're like Darkwing Duck, though.
So what's the ultimate goal? Like, if you guys had to look far into the future, let's say 5 years from now, where
To not
do you
go
guys see
out
yourself?
like that. Not going out like that. Not just going to sit and take it. It's our goal. The war is lost. Our great grandfathers lost the war, so we just can fight to the end. That's it. That's
No,
me.
super
That's my
cool.
answer.
No,
But these guys have answers, and I always talk over them.
right. What about you, government accountability? I've never met you before. What do you think?
It's just yeah, nice to meet you too. It's just we're all performing our civic duty to keep a watchful eye on the people who do work with our money and in our names.
Right.
So just to not like Rice Krispie said, not to just sit back and let life go on as we're only worried about ourselves, to stay involved in our own communities and keep an eye on what's going on.
So I was talking
Because if
to
not, they just run rampant and do whatever they want.
right. Absolutely. So privately, I was talking to Rice Krispie. I believe that everyone has a story in terms of what really motivated you to get into the movement and stuff. What was your motivation? I don't know. I don't mean to be interviewing you or anything like that. It's just
No,
like
you're
a habit of mine. I don't know why, but I just fall into that. But I'm
I
actually
was
really
telling
curious.
somebody, just
uh,
eyes on the state, that you're the Joe Rogan of the community now.
Oh man, no. I mean, I'm just curious. I really am curious. Curious of because I've interviewed many activists and cop watchers and First Amendment auditors, and they have something in common. I just want to know if you fall into that. There could be the one that doesn't fall into any of that. What motivated you? What's one moment that you can remember was like, you know what, I'm never gonna, I'm gonna become an activist. Like, what was that moment for you?
well, it was probably a compilation of moments. I mean, I've had experiences in my own life with law enforcement where I knew that things weren't really doing what they whole uh, idea of law enforcement would have us believe that they're set out to do, which is protecting and serving us and standing up for our rights. It was clear that it was up to us to stand up for our own rights, or else trample all over them. And then those experiences moved into me actually watching what people were out there already doing. And like I attribute a lot of my getting into doing this to people like Jeff Gray and Rogue Nation. Those were people that I started watching. A lot of the guys out on the West Coast too, because they were doing a lot of the work out there already as well. And then I started going out by myself and just looking into things. I was always baffled at how like the news always just portrayed a narrative, and now it's funny to me to watch like Fox News and then CNN and how completely different they are, but they're talking about the same thing. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
for me, it was more like
two
a
different narratives.
compilation
Yeah.
of things. I just decided to get off and do about it instead of just letting things happen. I mean, there's only so much I can do, but we have so much access to information that the general public doesn't really even seem to understand that they have. They would never fact check anything. They would just literally just read the news and believe whatever they were told. I didn't want to be that guy anymore. I wanted to investigate myself and find out what happened, through my own hard work and try to hold, government officials accountable in my area. If they have one person in every city that did this, they'd be more on the up and up. You know what I mean? P's and Q's. They probably wouldn't act out as much.
Right. I know.
It's
absolutely.
a tough job though to stay on it.
No, 100%.
Yeah, we have a lot of people asking if we are doing our research on the virus. No, nope, I'm not.
What do you mean by that, Rich Crispy?
They said, "Do you not research?" Dr. Andrew Kaufman and others. That's what people are writing. And Steve and Jenny wrote. I'm sorry, Steve and Jenny. I understand. Somebody created it, or somebody didn't. It doesn't affect me either way, other than it's here now, and I have to,
So are they saying
protect
that
against it or not? I'm gonna err on the side of caution and go ahead and protect against it. Take the proper precautions and not go overboard like a lot of other people are doing either. But
Right, Crispy,
that's
what
my
are your
answer.
opinions on the COVID-19 and the virus and everything?
That was it. I mean, I'm gonna try to.
Oh, you avoid that. It's not something that you want to talk about?
No, I just talked about it. I mean, I'm not gonna go overboard with the precautions that I take, but I'm gonna err on the side of caution and take precautions.
Yeah.
My wife works in a hospital, so we have a couple kids.
You have a different perspective.
I'm not gonna gamble,
right?
On what I read, So I'm gonna just be safe
and sorry. Be safe and sorry, right?
If I look stupid out there wearing my awesome shark mask that I've been waiting for a whole year for an excuse to wear for it to be legal.
Do you have it? Do you have it right now?
I have it out in the living room, but I wore a shamag. I'm not just wearing like that one's cool. That blue one.
You know what I'm wearing? I'm wearing. We should all share a mask. This is what I'm wearing right now. I'm wearing this red bandana.
Hey, Muma, can you mute your mic a little bit? Welcome aboard, though, Muma. Awesome shark mask that I've been waiting for a whole year for an excuse to wear for it to be legal.
Hello, I'm trying to fix my phone, my TV. Hold on.
What are you from, Texas?
I'm from Sydney, Australia.
I know, I was joking. I figured it was Australia.
Huh?
Can you mute your mic a little bit? Welcome aboard, though, Muma.
Mute it.
Finn GA texture, check your text.
Well, thanks, Gunny Grunt. Thanks for the solidarity, Devil Dog. That was just it helped a lot to see who was going to jump on board that bullshit. Bon voyage to those folks. Oh, you stuck up for me? It was a mistake? Why? What happened, Gunny? What happened? Did we ignore one of your messages that we couldn't see? That's what I was saying the other night. We can't read all the texts that are going by, so don't take it personally. Anyways, moving right along. So, Muma.
Hello, how you doing?
Why? What happened? Oh yeah, you got to turn that down in the background.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out. I can't find the remote.
What happened, Rights?
Oh, I'm replying to Gunny.
Now, this is so cool how you guys have it. I'm so intrigued in how you guys organize this. It's beautiful what you guys are doing here. The whole the Bang logo and everything. Damn.
I think the punk rock dude in the bottom right corner is what makes it. That guy is so punk.
Oh yeah.
Right. Check your text.
I can't
quick.
read any of the text, so but yeah, I'm cool with that, Eyes.
Okay.
I don't see any. But yeah, if there's any notable comments,
Oh yeah, sure.
or people asking questions, pop them up if you could, Eyes, because
I'm trying.
I can't keep
They're
pulling.
moving so fast. I'm trying.
How many people are in here?
We got 43 watching and only 23 likes. I don't know. We can do better than that, folks.
It's hard enough.
We have
the
Andre
mic.
Shouldn't Drink on the show today.
I'm not that popular, guys.
Well, if you guys don't know about him, go to his channel, and he has like some of the best interviews with us. Like he asks the most poignant questions, and I don't know. I think every single time you see a different side of an auditor on his channel. It's like you see people say the same thing over and over again to a cop, but look at it how this guy has asked questions tonight. And I say this guy, you're sitting right here. That's kind of rude. Sorry.
You're being so nice. It's insane. You're being way too nice. I'm just a guy that asks questions. That's all I am. And I really appreciate that, Red Crispy.
That's what a good journalist is, really. You know what I mean? Asking the right ones, and I find myself being too quiet a lot of times when I go out. I get enveloped in all the other stuff that goes on, the camera work and watching my back and all that kind of stuff, and forget to ask questions.
100%. I do think it is a skill. I mean, you have to listen to a response, and you have to quickly have a follow-up question that relates to the response, or something that continues the conversation. And I've had people that are great conversationalists, and I've had people that I've talked to that are terrible at conversation, but I have to keep it going. It needs to at least be 45 minutes long. So regardless, I mean, I've had moments where I've told myself, like, this isn't going to last very long, and I have to, and maybe write down 10 questions, and we're already through 10 questions, and it's only 20 minutes into the interview. You know what I mean? So that's where you need to really start.
So
huh?
we get questions about why aren't we asking questions about the virus? I mean, we've been talking about it. We're asking each other questions about it.
About the virus.
Yeah, and if you see my last couple audits, well, my last audit, I did one I haven't published yet. On my way home, GA, I stopped at my first audit and did a revisit. My very first audit at the health department, and they were closed. They're completely closed. Oh yes, please. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. I just want to congratulate you boys. You do an awesome job, and I just love the work that you do. You know, it's really great, actually. You know, and because I'm from Sydney, Australia. Here, I think we need to get more. No, you haven't heard of Australia. Sydney.
He's just teasing. He's just teasing.
Oh, you're teasing me.
No, but honestly, your accent is absolutely just amazing. I love your accent so much.
Thank you. I love yours too. Yeah, I can't get enough of audits.
Yeah. America's crazy. How do you guys feel? How do Australians think about America?
Yeah. There's not much talk about it, but it happens over here too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of corruption over here as well with the police, especially with the police. And because I'm Aboriginal descent, I feel like that they profile you over here. I feel
it's pretty racist out there, huh?
Yeah. And, it's amazing, what, people.
But sorry to interrupt you, but in Australia, you guys don't have guns, right? Is that correct?
No.
From what I understand?
It's against the law here, but, there's some people with guns in crime,
Mm-hmm.
But
don't mention it, Chronic.
Have you been to the United States before?
No, I would love to go, actually.
What's keeping you from coming?
Money. and plus, I have medication. I've got to go to the hospital every day to have medication.
I
That's
see.
probably what's
Mhm.
stopping me as well. But
You need to
you
come.
know,
If you could come to the United States, where would you want to go?
I don't know, New York, I
New
guess.
York?
Whoa, no.
Why you?
Yeah.
No. Hey, she
Hey,
doesn't
hang
know.
on a second. Excuse me, guys.
Yeah.
Not an imposter, and Steve and Jenny, we have a responsibility to talk about something that we do know about. And like I said, I don't think anybody on here can talk about the coronavirus with, to pontificate. It's irresponsible to do so and even at the top levels. If you know who invented it and who created the strains and they're dealing it out for whatever, then come on board. We've put the link up. Don't tell us what you want us to talk about if you know something we don't.
We can't sit here and keep speculating about that. And
right.
Mm.
Yeah, and if we want to hear even your crackpot ideas if people
It's
think they're
going
crackpot. That's
worldwide,
what our forum
actually.
is for. Yeah.
Yeah, worldwide.
So
It's a
It's
mismatch.
disgusting.
It's a mishmash. There is no set anything tonight. Mishmash.
right.
Just a
But
gobbledygook of shit together.
but Red Crispy, they just want a reaction out of you. That's all it is.
Right. No. And
I'm sure
I think some
I'm
people
sure the mainstream
are
media is
actual
doing enough
fans.
coronavirus
They're
coverage
just
right
a
now.
little. Go ahead.
Do you know anyone with the COVID-19?
I do not.
No.
No, I do not. I live in Northern Virginia, in the metropolitan area. I have many friends, and no one in my area, in the metropolitan area, no one that I know has COVID that I know. But that is
Oh,
not to
that's
say
great.
that in other areas is different. So what I've heard is that in Maryland, DC, and Northern Virginia, there has not been a COVID case. But I mean, I could be completely wrong. This is what I've heard. Yeah, I don't know. Have you guys heard? Do you guys know people
Yes,
that have had it?
I know several people in Miami. It's just they're
Well,
all
Oh,
in
yeah.
Miami
Miami.
is a different story. I mean, I lived in
Everybody in
Miami.
Miami. Yeah.
Look, I lived in Miami.
Yeah.
Miami is a different story. Miami is a contact to contact all the time. It's bars all over the place,
Yeah.
and
This guy
beaches all
was a
over the
year
place.
ahead of me in school. He's 46 years old, basketball champion. He died of corona. His mom and his sister had and whatever they want to say, like, oh, he had underlying symptoms and they just blame corona. His mom and his brother, I mean, went into the hospital with it, and they went to his place and he was dead 2 days later in his apartment. Like, he didn't have any symptoms or anything. He just had the effects that he died of that because of it. Some of the things that they're starting to find out, if the powers that be have released it or not, is that it's not very much a respiratory thing as much as it is a circulatory thing. The really bad version out of the two that are going around right now. There's the fever, flu one, and then there's the embolism and
Hey, Red
the
Crispy,
heart attack one. Yeah.
Can we agree on one thing though?
Yeah.
Because I can already tell we're probably gonna disagree on a lot, but one thing we can probably agree on is the COVID-19 virus is not as deadly as we once thought it was. Can we agree on that?
No, exactly. There are a lot of people who had misdiagnosed it, and the numbers were inflated as far as projections and the models. But models
Right.
change.
They said 2 million. They said 2 million.
So
And
yeah,
right
but models
now, what
change,
is it?
and the models have changed to a still alarming number, and whether we should believe it or not because they were wrong in the past, you're right. There should be questioning. Question
Right.
everything.
Right.
Question. Welcome aboard, Leslie Sylvan.
I was watching a thing on YouTube yesterday, and your what's his name? Your government. What's your
The president?
yes.
Trump.
He was saying that children are not liable to get it.
Right.
It's only the elderly. What do you think on that?
I think it's ridiculous.
What were
Hey,
his
Hebrew Hammer.
exact? What were his exact terms? What exactly did he say? Like quote for quote.
Apparently, children are prone not to get it because they're stronger than us.
He said that on Twitter, or where did he say that? I would like to look
On
it up.
YouTube, on CNN, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Donald Trump says what? The basis.
I think somebody was saying that we should open the schools back up because kids are not as susceptible to it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the president himself. It might have been our governor of Florida, who they call Baby Trump.
He was saying it at the rally, actually. Yeah, sorry, the rally.
Look, look for me. I think we need to be very, very careful on what we spread. So if we're gonna say something, let's say I was talking to you, Rice Crispy, and you said something, and I was like, "Really? That's what they said? Let's look it up." I would tell you, let's just
right. No, and we can't hold Mumu from Australia.
Right.
So
for
me, that standard.
I'm willing to look.
Don't blame me, guys.
I thought it too.
Because anyone watching can immediately say, "Oh, this is fact," especially
right. No, not at all.
From reputable people.
No,
like
everybody watching can see in the description. This is MisMash. MisMash tonight. That's it. And we have some awesome channels and people here. Hebrew Hammer, welcome aboard. Hebrew Hammer is a great supporter. And
right, Crispy. I'm a great supporter as well.
Yes,
anything
you are.
that you all need, you let me know.
Roger that, sir. You got me.
Okay?
Yep,
Thank you. Yeah, we can hear you, Lima Charlie. Finally, we've been waiting a few weeks to get Hebrew Hammer.
Roger that. Yeah.
So why
well,
is
I'm animated against the Wi-Fi system, so I've got to run off of data.
Why is the coronavirus?
What I think people need to be aware of is that we are watching. Sorry.
Why is the coronavirus?
What I think people need to be concerned about is the advent.
Hebrew Hammer, you have the floor, sir.
Again, yes, sir. I do want to say off. I apologize. I think what people need to be concerned about is a rolling out of what is called a Bio Patriot Act. Okay.
Yeah.
People are not talking about the wording that's coming out of the Pentagon. People are watching the CDC and not the Pentagon. We need to be watching what's coming out of the Pentagon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're witnessing an actual virus. Okay. Now, is it as prevalent as they say? I beg to differ. What we need to look at is a trigger mechanism. Okay. Now, people who understand the Patriot Act rolled out after 9/11, pre 9/11, we couldn't conceive the concept.
Yeah, the sound.
Hebrew Hammer. I love what you're saying. No one can really hear you clearly. You're breaking up every time you say every other word.
It kind of is. Yeah, the thing is, Hebrew Hammer is in
I do apologize. Really,
I'm actually really intrigued in what he's saying.
Yeah, and there are.
So again, I'm not going.
Perfect.
I'm not going to give out the level of status that I have acquired right now. Crispy's aware of my current position, and I'm kind of privy to some inside information.
Right.
Again, like what I'm trying to stress to people is be aware of the Bio Patriot Act.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pre 9/11, we knew nothing about a Patriot Act. Okay, and it took a tragedy to roll out this event. Okay, has anybody noticed that the Canadian and Mexican border are still closed? Okay, again, please listen to what's coming out of the Pentagon. Don't listen to the CDC. They're going to direct you to pay no attention to the man behind the deal. Okay,
100%.
My sister She's in the U.S. Air Force Captain 310 Space Wing. Okay?
Wow.
And they have already received, on a military level, inoculation against this COVID-19. We are looking at a military event.
Wow.
They're getting ready to lock this country down, folks, and people need to wake up.
Mm.
You know, when I see people yelling at people for not wearing a mask, that's where I keep saying what I said before: is question everything. Why are you doing that? Why don't we let people who don't want to wear a mask not wear a mask? If you have a
Absolutely.
mask on, you keep your mask on, stay
How about-
safe, and let's see if those people are dropping dead around us for not wearing their mask.
How about let's expand on what his last statement
No,
was,
guys, I
that they're
completely
going
disagree
to
with you.
lock that they're going to lock the country down.
I'm not saying
How
that they
are
will.
No. Hebrew Hammer just said that was what was going to be coming very quickly, was that they were going to lock the country down. So
Right.
if they're going to lock the country down, how are they going to lock the country down? And then what is their end purpose of locking the country down?
Mm.
Well,
Hebrew?
I want to clarify.
The purpose is the transfer of wealth.
Okay, so when they lock the country down, the purpose of them locking the country down, which means closing all the borders, directing all international flights away from the United States, meaning nobody comes in and nobody goes out, how will they transfer wealth at that point?
Okay.
Hopefully it's
What
not
you're looking
that
at is a
long.
corner of the market or entry into the commodity market. Okay.
I can't understand anything.
For example,
I can't understand
if you're in a small
Hebrew.
Hebrew, it's not working, man.
Hebrew, I'm so sorry, but there's nothing that we understand. You're probably saying you're dropping gems right now at this point.
He is.
No
Yeah.
one can understand what you're saying, which is unfortunate for the people that are watching, probably live right now, which is unfortunate for them. I can't even understand you, and I'm right here.
Yeah,
you know?
we gotta go do another interview with you, man.
Like,
I
you
know
would have
Rogue
to
Nation
interview
has
you
one.
one on one. We'd have to interview you because it's not working. Your connection is poor, very poor.
Yeah, it's the area where he
absolute.
lives.
So if somebody,
There we go. We got you, loud and clear. Go ahead.
okay, so I'm trying to find a spot here. I'm
Oh,
sitting here holding one
You're in a
arm
good
up,
one.
one
This is
leg to the
perfect.
33 degrees.
Okay, so let's go back to
Um,
what the questions were and how your answers to those questions will be.
Controlling the border and the flights and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, correct. So what we're looking at is a transfer of wealth. Okay, and how transfer of wealth will take place is the entry to the commodity market.
Oh, they
Was
cut
that
him
clear?
out.
Guys, I can't. This is not.
No,
working.
yeah, no,
He
it's
said
It's
not.
not working.
entry-
It's not
the
working.
entry
Hebrew,
to the
It's
Hebrew
commodity
Hammer.
they don't want you to tell us, man.
Yeah, I
He
think
said-
maybe they're watching us. Maybe they are. Who knows? I mean, we're joking, but it could be. I mean, at the end of the
Yeah.
day, this is really strange. Every time that you talk about it, I mean, I'm not not to be conspiracy theory or anything, but
Right. No, but there's Stingray, not an imposter, pointed
but
that
who
out.
knows?
And
Who knows? But who knows? We can't understand. Every time you try to talk about it, it gets all scratchy and you sound like a robot, like all robotic. So if
Yeah.
anything, we're gonna have to
raise your
interview you.
left leg 2
Understood.
inches.
So if I talk
That's
There
clear.
it is.
if I talk about strawberry ice cream, you can hear that though, right?
Perfect.
Yeah, well, that was
Strawberry ice
perfect.
cream.
Hey, if anything, talk about YouTube and how much you love YouTube, and maybe we can hear it all day long. But all of a sudden, we start talking about something that's actually serious, that we actually care about, that we actually want to know about, something that we don't know about, that we actually care about. All of a sudden, your voice gets distorted, and we can't hear it. And that is
Yeah, I
the
know.
absolute
Yeah.
truth. Everyone here is agrees with me, and I'm
I
a
think-
witness.
I think Hebrew Hammer knows a lot about signals intelligence.
Yeah, I reckon too.
Yeah, what it is I'm too close to a SCADA tower.
Okay.
Perfect.
So commodities come in through shipping and trucking in Mexico, and that was the last word that you had tried to say, right? That they were going to control the commodities.
Okay. Well, I greatly apologize. I'm going to jump back into the text chat.
Well, we can hear you now.
Yeah,
I mean, you found a good spot. I can hear the crickets. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. I apologize. I greatly apologize sincerely.
No, please
No,
don't.
So again, the transfer of wealth. No. Okay.
Yeah, you're good. Go.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. So again, the transfer of wealth through the denial of an entry into a commodity market. Okay. So the traditional idea of transfer of wealth, people think a monetary supplement. This is not what we're looking at. We're looking at what's called a knowledge database. Okay. We are being lied to. All right. To give an example of the beer putsch, you remember the beer putsch in the early 30s?
No.
No.
Nobody remembers the beer putsch that allowed the Nazi Party to come in power.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Took me a sec.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So this is what we're witnessing along the lines. This is what's happening in the United States right now. Okay. So we look across the nation and we see people losing jobs exponentially. Okay. But there is no absorption rate into any other market. Okay. We are going the way of Yugoslavia. We are being balkanized.
Yeah, the term "learn to code" was banned from Twitter.
Who's going to be the superior to us then?
There we go.
If we're going to be...
So, United Nations.
One world order. A new world order.
Yes. Yes.
NWO. How are they gonna stop the 400 million weapons that are in the United States from stopping them from doing that to us, though?
They spray whatever they have locked up in warehouse 13.
Well, they have to wait
and that we don't wake up.
They have to wait. What were you going to say, Hebrew Hammer?
Now, how it's going to be rolled out is through the 5G program.
Or that, yeah. Yep, Ronald Truitt said 5G. What's up, Ronald Truitt? Snap phase. Peanut 411 says IBM was a huge part of that in the mid 30s. Yeah, international business machines. There's big giant conglomerates that have been around for a long time, and they're one of them.
Hey, so have you guys talked about sensitive topics here?
Well, this is one of the first times we talk about
very
sensitive,
very sensitive, like very sensitive. Like I'm talking about BLM.
It's an open forum most nights. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. We've talked about.
Yeah.
You would talk about that. You guys would talk about that.
One thing that I am.
Oh man, and but aren't you? I'm just wondering. Aren't you afraid that people, because of your own views, people will judge you on the things that you say or do?
People.
No,
judge
sir.
you
The
for
secret to
everything.
failure. Yeah, the secret to failure is trying to please everyone, and we
judge
do our best. But you're never going to please everybody. Like I was just saying, like, come on, what do you want from us? We're doing our best to talk about this. We're having a good conversation.
Be open.
But we're not saying the exact. We're not giving you the exact answers that you want to hear. Sorry, but that's part of the universal communication that we're having here. You're broadening.
Look, I'm telling you right now, Bang is going to be huge. This is one of those places, those platforms where people can come on, say their views, whether they're against you or not, and you guys are so understanding. That's why I do my podcast. It doesn't matter what your beliefs are or what you say, what you don't say.
We've had trolls on here briefly. We had trolls on here. We had a cop on here try to debate against Captain Awesome. Didn't work out well for him.
He's a great person.
It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful thing that what you guys have created. You guys probably. I mean, I don't know. I kind of want to like hype you guys up because you guys really definitely deserve it. It's one of those things where it's like to come up with a concept like this and actually stick by it. And stick by the views that you have, regardless of what anyone thinks.
Well, we didn't
that's
really come up with this. It just happened. It evolved into this kind of naturally, organically.
Yeah, no,
That's
but
what makes
you
it
guys
good.
all came into agreement. You guys all came into agreement.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's come up with this. You know, that's a beautiful thing. And so, I guess my next question is,
5 different minds too.
right, and that's incredible for 5 people to get along and to agree on a certain thing, and you know what I mean. And so, for someone to come on and disagree with you is pretty phenomenal. It's pretty insane, and I think that you guys are doing it the absolute right way. And I'm telling you right now, the way you guys are doing it, it's going to go slowly but steadily. As time goes on, I'm telling you right now, you guys will be the most respected podcast, the most respected YouTube channel in the next 5 to 10 years. And I'm telling you that because you guys have integrity, you guys have history. People are all right now. You guys said that I was the Joe Rogan of this or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That's a huge compliment. Joe Rogan right now is trying to be canceled. You can't cancel Joe Rogan. He has
they won't be able to.
10 years of podcast episodes.
Oh, thanks for reminding me.
You're welcome.
I like Joe.
Billy Corbin was on the Joe Rogan show a year ago. Billy Corbin is from Miami. He's a director. I've been friends with him for a little over a decade now. When he first started doing Cocaine Cowboys and Cocaine Cowboys 2, I don't know if you guys saw that, and the U and the U2 for ESPN 30 for 30.
Yeah.
So right now, he actually did. You get to watch that video?
I didn't get to. I'm sorry.
Can you pull that video up, Eyes on the State? Can you show everybody the video? I texted it. It was in our group text.
Oh, then no.
No. All right.
Phone are 2 different things.
Yeah, I'll try to put it in somewhere. But it's Catherine Fernandez Rundle is the state attorney in Miami,
and I have to be careful about what we put on here too.
Hey, Eyes on the State. How do you,
5 years. She took 5 years to complete this investigation on a guy who was thrown into a shower in jail where they adjusted the temperature of the water to 165 degrees and left him there for 2 hours until he boiled to death. And they tried to cover it up. She said that he died of paranoia and high blood pressure, and she briefly mentioned being locked in the shower, but didn't say any like details about it. She denied that he was burned.
No way.
Yeah, it's such a horrible story.
Hey, Rice Crispy, hold on. So, who was the officer involved? Were they ever charged with anything?
Nobody was ever charged with anything. That's the whole thing.
What?
Yep. Everybody
Did
got
the
away
family
with
win any settlement or anything?
Nothing. There's no justice at the end of this story.
Right, Crispy. I'm gonna go now.
All right. Welcome back anytime.
All right. I just wanted to say that I love yous and hope your family are doing well.
Thank you very much.
I've actually messaged you on Messenger, right, Crispy.
They took down my Facebook page. You can't get in touch with me on Facebook anymore.
He's a bad
because I wouldn't give him my real name. They just deleted it without me even like having a second chance at it. I was like,
that's terrible.
Hey, but Mama loves her girls. Hey,
if you want to
thank you so much for being a part. Thank you so much. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
You know, get onto Rowena Hobby on Facebook.
Right on, Rowena Hobby.
Yeah, but, okay. Yeah, I'll I'm always thinking of yous, and be safe. Okay.
All right. Thanks. See you, Mama.
Much love to yous all. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Be well. Thomas Malone and Hillbilly Patriot said.
No, Tampa Cop Watch. We need to get yours back too.
Hey, HPR.
Save the humans.
What were we talking about again?
I don't know if we're gonna be on much longer. Eyes on the State said he had a time limit today, and
I mean, we can go for a little
it's
bit
up
longer.
to you.
A
Yeah,
little
same
bit
here.
longer
Same here.
if we want to go. I mean,
I'll have to get
want it to
another
run-
beer.
I don't want it to run 2.5 or
We'll get
3
another
or
beer. Hey,
4
Rice
or
Krispie, give
5
me another beer.
hours.
I've never met Eyes on the State. Awesome, some questions, and
Yeah.
go get
I'll
yourself.
be quiet.
Hey, go get yourself three other beers.
I don't answer questions.
Ah, my goodness. No, but Eyes on the State, for real though. How long
What's
have
up?
you been? How long have you been on YouTube?
On YouTube,
Yeah.
doing the First Amendment stuff for a year and almost a half now, I think.
What about before that? What were you doing before?
I was doing some gaming stuff and some stuff like
Okay.
that before. Some computer related stuff, phone
Which one do
related
you like more?
stuff.
Which one do you like more?
This,
How come?
it makes an impact.
Makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yep.
It's good. So, where are you from? Can you say or no? No, you can't.
Let's say right now I'm from Florida. How about that? We'll just go with that.
I love Florida. I used to live in Miami. I love Florida.
I love Florida too. It's a lot nicer than where I'm from.
But you miss Florida, don't you?
Me?
I'm just kidding.
No. I think the mountains are calling me though now again.
Colorado?
No,
Yeah,
maybe
Project
not those
Veritas.
mountains. But a set of mountains are probably calling.
Okay.
He's from his mama. I like that Tampa cop watch.
I love to hear.
So yeah, Andre, these are a great bunch of guys that, like I said, we're all different, but at the same time, we all have this respect for each other that I think makes us a great team. We understand everybody has our personality quirks, and you could bump heads with people in this entire world, and we're going to be bumping heads with a lot of hard-headed people with what we do, and they have guns and badges.
Right.
So we keep it cool amongst ourselves and respectful without being phony. We always like let each other know, what's up and what bothers us, and we correct it, and we help each other grow.
No, 100%.
Like that.
I mean,
that's
what I've
what's
seen-
being a good
what I've-
friend.
right. That's from what I've seen. You guys are everyone's been really, really amazing, really accepting, really kind to me in every aspect. And me, I mean, I'm like I've always said over and over. I don't know why I always do this. This is fantastic. Let me do a cheers to you. I'm gonna actually turn on my camera.
Cheers.
Let me just turn on my
They
camera.
were asking what kind of beer this is. It's a German style Belgian beer called
Hey, cheers
Baja.
to you, man.
Salud, dinero y amor y tiempo para gozarlo.
Now, see, here's where we disagree.
Adentro.
I think the alcohol's bad.
Yeah.
It destroys things. So
Yeah, a lot of
Latino
people
friends,
have negative
I don't
experiences with it.
so
Oh yeah, I mean,
Again, thank you, but no thank you, Gunny Grunt. I don't want you to send anything to my house. Please do not do that. That's awfully nice of you. That's a universal sign of friendship to give food to somebody, because if an alien came from outer space and you gave him something good to eat, he won't zap you with his ray gun.
looks like water. He said, "Get a real beer."
Yeah, it's easy to drink. That's for sure. I don't want to have an arm wrestling match with my beer every time I drink it. Every now and then I like more hoppy stuff, but and then what other people think is really strong, like extra stout Guinness, I drink that like it's water. I'm used to that. I don't know.
I love Guinness. That's my favorite. Guinness, and this is an Italian beer. I love Italy. I plan on moving there next year, and it's this red ale. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's a red ale from Italy. You've been to Italy, right, Rice Krispie?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so
red ale.
There's a red ale there. It's like the famous red ale there. I don't know what it is. Literally, the only two beers I love is Guinness and this red ale, and I don't know what it's called. I can't find it here in America, but it's
Real
this
quick.
red ale. Yeah.
Semper Fi Joker Doc. I was an 0811 Field Artillery Cannon crewman. I was a Pendleton for Separations Company. That was it. I don't know. I think it was too far expanded. If you didn't have a car, you're screwed out there. And somebody said, "Is this a Pilsner?" No, this is a lager. So there's a little bit of a difference, aged, and the filtration process. So red ale. I like ales. Ales. See, that's the difference we were talking about.
I mean, I'm not saying I like ales. I'm saying for whatever reason, I had this red ale. So I went to Italy in September of last year for the first time ever, and I had a red ale. And I've always loved Guinness. I like dark beers. I like black coffee. That's who I am. I like whiskey. That's what I like. So dark things. And then I had a red ale, and I was like, wow! And I had it with an Italian pizza, and ever since then, I fell in love with it.
Nice.
I loved a red ale in Italy.
Love you too, Tampa Cop Watch.
I can't drink it. I don't know if I can.
Where in Italy again?
Northern Italy.
Right in the Tuscany
In
area.
Brescia.
Cool.
Yeah, near 2 hours away from Milan, 2 hours away from Venice.
Gotcha. Okay. Like right in between. Okay.
And I've been to both. And I've been to Venice. I went to.
That's like
Fiorentina.
right around the foothills of the Dolomites, right? It's a mountain region, right?
I don't think so. No.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
Like the bottom of the Alps, no?
No, that's a little bit more north. Where you're talking about. But I did go to the Tuscany, and I went to Tuscany, and I drove an actual. Dude, the cars in Italy are so tiny and so small. Like for me, I was
because
like,
the roads are, everything was the original roads.
And they're all stick, and I know how to drive stick, but it was just so, I don't know. It was one of those exhilarating feelings. I don't know. Everyone needs to go on. So they asked me, do you want to go on the main highway or do you want to go on the windy roads? It's the windy roads. And I went on the windy roads on a stick shift, small little Italian car, and it was the best moments of my life.
I rented a scooter the first time I was in Italy. I went to Rome. I took my grandma to the Vatican in 2000.
No way!
And I rented a scooter. It was death-defying, harrowing experience, man. I broke my big toe. I got some kind of drug made by Roche that was really good, that made me walk fine for the next week. But when I got back to the States, they were like, "What'd they give you out there?" And I told them, they're like, "Yeah, we don't have that here. You gotta heal up the hard way."
Wait.
So,
are you
say the human
are you a little bit
device.
Italian? Are you a little Italian?
No. I just my grandma was really super Catholic and she believed in monsters, and I took her out there. So I took her
oh my
to
god!
the Vatican.
You monster!
No, she was a very devout Catholic, and it was a lifelong dream for her to do that, and I was able to do that for her. I took my wife there on our Euro trip.
Is your wife Catholic?
11. No. She was raised Episcopalian, but we're spiritual but not religious, really.
Right.
We believe in a higher power, whether it's a collection of energy in another dimension or it's an old man with a white beard in the clouds. Whatever it is, we believe there's something that created all this different stuff.
It's really crazy. I don't believe in anything.
Good questions, bro.
It was the aliens.
Yeah, if it was an alien that sprouted us from Mars, yeah.
Guys, so I don't know what this means about myself. I don't believe in anything, right? And my girlfriend, she asked me, so if we had kids, what would you do? And I told them I would baptize them. And she said, why would you baptize them? And I told her, because just in case I'm wrong. What if I'm wrong?
Then wear a mask.
I would baptize them. It doesn't hurt them or anything, but just in case I'm wrong, I want them to be baptized. I want them to have all the same, traditions that I had, because I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't believe.
Yeah, we had a baptism. And I'm not gonna. But it wasn't.
What are your beliefs? What are your beliefs on that, though? From what I said, does what I did make sense?
Yeah.
Or what I said makes sense.
It does. Just to err on the side of caution, I like to do.
Just in case.
Because babies need a bath, duh.
Exactly. Yeah, we're gonna make them dirty. What? But yeah, so it did. It did. She did ask me that. And I remember, and she was like, You have a good point." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't necessarily believe in it all, but at the same time, I'm not going to be selfish and keep them from that tradition that's been for thousands and thousands of years before me." Right? I want them to make their own decision on whether it's right or wrong for them. And yeah, that's it.
That's a good point of view.
Yeah.
Hey, Joker Doc, thank you, Navy Corpsman, with the Fleet Marine Force. He when I think about a Navy Corpsman, I always think about the Marine Corps signature battle of Iwo Jima, and how the Japanese had all kinds of tunnels dug, and how their preparation was to learn how to target you guys, because they knew that 10 of us would die for one of you, and you guys were hard target on Iwo Jima. So that's what I always think about and talk about whenever I can. So thanks. Eyes. I'm a swamp marine. That's because I went to the Rock, Paris Island. Not a Hollywood marine.
Pacific.
Yes, they are excellent people. I can't hear you, Andre. You're muted if you're still talking. No.
No, I'm still here.
There we go.
Yeah, sorry. You had a question for me?
No, I thought you were talking and you were muted.
Oh no. I'm still here. I'm muting myself.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm leaving.
Yeah, no, I have not heard of
for a
David Boyce. I'll look him up. I was talking to a friend of mine about Jacqueline Lucas, Jack Lucas, who jumped on 2 grenades. Well, he jumped on 1 grenade and saw there was another one and scooped it under himself and let them both blow him up. But he survived and collected his Medal of Honor at 17 years old. And then I remember that, Peanut, for when you told me that when we were up in Tallahassee. And I appreciate your nephew very much. But yeah, Jack Lucas also stowed away on a boat to Iwo Jima. And since he was a stowaway, he wasn't supposed to be in that group. He was a motor T back on Pearl Harbor. He wasn't supposed to be there. He had to pick up a rifle out of the surf from a dead Marine. And when he saw his first opportunity to finally get a Japanese guy like he wanted to, he shot him straight through the forehead with the one shot. And when he saw another one, his weapon jammed, as it would if you picked it up out of the surf. And a couple other guys saw him charging and they covered him. But then that's when he noticed the grenade and he jumped on it and then scooped the other one.
It saves everybody.
Yeah, pretty amazing story. So later on, he ended up joining the Army. He got out of the Marine Corps and he joined the Army. And his chute didn't open his first jump. And he just did like this combat roll on the ground. He fell 3,000 feet to be unscathed because the guy was built like a fire plug, man, like a short, stocky dude. His whole life, he was always like that since he was young. He grew into adulthood at a young age, and it wasn't very much. And he managed to survive that. And then one of his wives tried to hire a hitman and kill him, and that failed. And she didn't get the memo. And then he died of cancer.
That he's indestructible.
Right. He died at 86 of cancer, though.
Oh my god! What a horrible. So what ended up happening? He died from that.
Yeah. He lived a pretty long life for dude.
Oh, he lived a long life, like in his 90s and stuff.
No, 86, I think, is when he died.
That's a good. That's a long life. That's pretty good. Good for him. And so he was a veteran. He served his country. He did all these amazing things, and he left a legacy. That's what we're talking about him right now. You know, my father always told me, as a man, you need to leave a legacy. I didn't understand that as a kid, and as I get older and older and older as I do, I start realizing what he's talking about. My dad is now 61. He turned 62. He's like every man, he says there's three things every man needs to do. Every man needs to plant a tree. I don't know why he says that, but he says every man needs to plant a tree. Every man needs to have a son, and every man needs to write a book. And I asked him about the book part as a kid. And I asked him, why does every man need to write a book? And he says, because every man needs to leave a legacy for the other man. He used better words than I'm using, but every man needs to leave a legacy for the next man behind him.
Oh, he was 80 years old. I'm sorry, not 86. 80 years old when he died in 2008. Yeah, and if I write a book, I'm going to only write on one side of the pages, so I leave enough room for anybody who has a better idea to write on the other.
Right.
If you can come up with something better. And Proto News, that you think it was the best? That was the worst ever. That's, I think, the worst sheriff's office I've ever encountered, especially that Sergeant Folkroad. He's a corrupt tyrant, and I don't think I've seen any worse than he. But go ahead, Andre. What were you saying?
I'm just saying, what my father said, I mean, up until now, I'm the age that I am now, and I look back on it, he's absolutely right about everything. I mean,
I've planted, I don't know how many hundreds of trees. I did it in Dominican Republic and here at CASA, the Community Action to Stop Abuse, to give them more privacy from their building. That's where battered spouses go. It's not just women. There are battered husbands who go there too.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some fruit-bearing trees we planted in the Dominican Republic, a few hundred of those, in some small villages out there. I can't write a book because I'm too picky. I can't write a paragraph because I'm too picky.
You will.
I
think when you're like in your 80s, when you're 70s or 80s, you have nothing better to do. I think one day. No, seriously, for 100%.
I hope I'm alive that long.
No, I hope so as well, because I'll be talking to you.
These motherfuckers want to kill us, dude.
Yeah, but
a lot of these guys.
But
you should see
there's
some
no
of the
way
comments.
they're gonna get away with it. Anyways, so
and if they do, activate the reinforcements.
I will. Okay, but what I'm saying is this. I know your personality and everything. If it is what it is, at the end of the day, you're gonna release. I mean, I don't know who you are. Like, I don't know your journals. I don't know your personal stuff like that. And I'm sure you had that for your children. At the end of the day, they're gonna find out who their father was. Their father was an activist. Their father was an advocate. Their father was someone that fought for something that really meant something in a time in American history, right? That was awful. So, for instance, for an example, you could be someone in their eyes that was a civil rights activist. Let's say Harriet Tubman. You know, she helped so many people through the railroads, right? You could be that person. Similar. I'm not saying you're going to be exactly the same. You can be similar in this moment of time, because you're going to be criticized. If you criticize any movement that's going on in this moment, you're going to be canceled, right? But because you have a voice and because you have an audience and stuff like that, you're going to say what you're going to say. And it doesn't matter what you're going to say. And when your family looks back,
I think it matters. I think when they look back, yeah, they'll see not
whether
just
you're racist or not
the
racist.
activist. Right. They'll see not just my activism, but who I was, and that is a journal. You see my channel, right, Crispy? That's and what you see is what you get. I'm not a phony baloney with a pony named Tony. I'm like this all the time.
Right, but are you saying anything racist? Are you an awful person?
Never.
What are you doing?
No, I had those trolls ask me, "Are you a racist?" I'm like, "Come on, you guys have nothing more. Like, you've tanked out on how to come at me. I stand confident on the law and the truth and facts that I believe are facts. You can, hit me with yours, and I'd be willing to learn. I keep an open mind. That's another strength that I have.
You know why they
I want to
attack you?
learn.
You know why they attack you?
Yes, because
you call yourself a First Amendment auditor or a cop watcher.
No,
That's
I'm
why.
a gonzo journalist.
Yeah, but they attack you because they consider you a First Amendment auditor or a cop watcher. That's what they consider you.
Thanks,
Whereas
Proto.
me, I'm a journalist. Right? I've always said that 100%, and I know you are as well. But they consider you that, and I don't know why they consider you that, because you're not. You're not. I've spoken to you many
Thank you,
times.
Save
You're
the
not
Humans.
that.
No, yeah, I know. Thank you too, bro. I mean, you can see through the bullshit, and you can see
I know I see
what
it.
people
No,
are trying
100%.
to stop us from doing. They don't want that exposure. They don't want them to be found out. Most of the people who are against us have something to hide themselves. It's
That's a
not
good point.
just a deep, devout devotion to the thin blue line that they don't even belong to. They're like, oh shit. I hope they don't find, whatever horrible shit they have on their phone or whatever they have.
Right.
I don't understand the people that don't think that they don't do any wrong.
Yeah.
That they shit roses.
Nunya, your father had a dishonorable discharge. That's unfortunate. I have not, to clear things up. People have speculated on that. I did not have a dishonorable discharge. I did not have a bad conduct discharge. The trolls.
Oh my
Trolls.
god. Oh my
Yeah.
god. I don't even know. I wouldn't even address any of them.
No, but this person is talking about their father and saying, that's your
So?
father. He had, yeah.
It was really, it's really shitty.
And some people have been charged with felonies, which is pretty much the equivalent. You lose your right to vote, and that's really sad. That's horrible. How do you feel about that? Do you think people in jail should lose their right to vote?
No.
Nope. The day they walk out.
Guys, give me a sec, guys. Give me a sec. There was this. I went to a party, and very recently, actually, and this guy, he goes, "I was in the army." And this guy's puffing out his chest, and I know he is. And immediately I arrive at the party, and I notice that he's saying all this bullshit, right? Because he's saying all these things.
A stolen valor, dude.
No, he was in the military, but he's exaggerating his military.
Okay. Right, he was super army special soldier.
I hate that shit, right?
Yeah.
So I'm there, and I'm standing next to my friend who's from Italy. He's actually a pilot. He's very accomplished, makes way more money than I do, right? He's a good guy. He's a great person, my friend from Italy. This guy, he's this Asian dude, and fucking talking about, oh yeah, I used to be in the Marines. I did this. I used to do that, right? And all these fucking dudes are like, oh wow, you used to be in the Marines. Wow, and they're like all fanboying over him. And then he tries the same thing on me, and immediately I see right through this dude, and I start talking the same military lingo. You can only say the same military lingo if you know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
So I start saying the same military lingo to him, and immediately he asked me, "Were you in the military?" And I said, "Yeah, I was in the army." He was like, "How long?" I was also in the Coast Guard. And immediately he shuts his fucking face. And I'm telling you right now, not even joking, the rest of the night, he stayed completely quiet. He didn't say a damn thing.
Mansito.
Exacto. Sin vergüenza. Because it's people like that where like
that is stolen valor.
They're using their military experience.
Joker is right.
Huh?
Joker said embellishment of one's service is stolen valor. If you claim to have earned a medal that you didn't, if you said you did something you didn't, that's stolen valor. It's not whether or not you were in the military.
Everyone asks, "Oh, did you go to war? No. Did you do this? No. I didn't do shit."
Please and I admit it. I was in the rear with the gear. Even if I had gone, it was in the rear with the gear.
Right. But people to this day ask me, "Thank you for your service." Don't thank me for my service. I appreciate that. At the same time, I do appreciate it. I didn't do anything. I wasn't at war. I wasn't being shot at. I joined in 2012. Obama was the president.
Yeah, but we were at war,
troops.
and
No, he was pulling it back. He was pulling back troops at that time.
I
I
joined
didn't
in
go to war
peacetime.
at one time. I did too. So at the end of
Well,
the day,
no, you joined during war. We're at war right now. We have 8 wars going on right now.
I understand. I understand that, but I was not at a wartime.
Right.
Well,
You didn't
at
get
least
deployed.
My
but
MOS, my
you got a
MOS
Firewatch ribbon, didn't you?
No,
National Defense Service medal?
no.
You don't have
I
a National Defense Service
I
medal.
don't have any. All I got is me graduating from boot camp, and I got like 2 ribbons.
Yeah, one of them is the National Defense Service medal, which you get for being in during wartime, or even during a ceasefire.
I don't.
Yeah, is it red with yellow, red, white, and blue in the middle? Is it red on both sides?
Yes, it is. I'm looking at it right
that's
now.
your National Defense Service medal.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I can show you right now on the camera. I have
Congratulations. It's kind of like getting it all over again, right?
Thank you. But at the end of the day, I mean, I don't like it when people try to use their position. It's happened 3 or 4 times in my life. Bartending, serving, anything that I've done, selling cars. They're like, oh, I sell the military, and I'm like, me too. What's your point? That's what I say to them. What's your point? And they're shocked, right? And because I'm Hispanic, that's another thing too. Everyone thinks that I lean towards one side. No, I'm Hispanic, but you would be very surprised where I lean. Very surprised.
Yeah, me too. A lot of people think I lean one way or the other when I'm right down the middle. I'm a fiscal conservative and social liberal.
I'm a central conservative. Officially, central conservative.
And I do still honor my oath, Leslie. You know that. With motivation from you. Thank you, our great heroine.
You know, honestly, I want everyone to know, Rice Krispie, the greatest. The absolute greatest. Man. Dude, you're a good guy. 100%. Inside and out. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to just like give me a platform to actually speak my truth. Know what I mean?
Yeah, you didn't really get to tell us. You want to tell us real quick, like what happened to you? You drove up to your house. You went inside and said, "I forgot something in my car." You went back to your car. And what happened next?
Oh, for people that don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
So on June 7th, 2019. I had just got home from work. And so I went into my house, and as most people, you get comfortable, right? I changed into my shorts or whatever. I realized that I forgot my AirPods. So I go back into my car, which is parked my car is parked outside of my gate, which is still my property, by the way. So I go to my car, and I'm looking through my car, looking for my AirPods. All of a sudden, I see blue lights, people yelling, "Get out of the car." I put my hands out, and I saw the video cam footage. I know what I'm talking about. I put my hands out. My hands are up in the air, and I'm walking towards the officers backwards. They handcuffed me. Put me in they're questioning me a ton. They're asking me like 7, 8 different questions. And I answer only.
Did they accuse you of anything at all? Did they tell you why they were doing any of this?
No. They asked me. They're asking me, "Who are you? What's your name?" Blah blah. And I tell them my name. I mean, I don't tell them my name or anything. I just tell them my address. I live here. I just keep saying that. I live here. I live here. If they ask me, "What's your name?" I live here. What are you doing? I live here. That's literally what I'm saying to them. I live here. This is where I live. They put me in the
You
back.
had just moved in with your parents because you had just gotten out of the Coast Guard, right? And you moved back in with them or something.
No, I moved in with my.
Or you
parents
moved back from Miami. That's what
in Miami. Yeah, but no, this is way before. No, this is like
last year,
different.
right?
No. This is from 2009. This is 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2017.
But you put the complaint in last year. That's what it was.
Yes, and I put the complaint in 2019 of June 26th, 2019. Guess what, guys? Tomorrow is June 26th of what? 2020.
2020, yep.
That's
1 year
year
later.
since I put the complaint in, and Fairfax County Police Department still hasn't figured out if whether or not my complaint is valid or not.
Can I give a quick synopsis of what I saw happen in your videos?
Please do so.
It was basically, okay, this guy, you guys heard what happened to him. They pulled guns on him, had him handcuffed, thrown in the back of the car for mistaken identity. And they searched your car too, right? Without asking you or anything. They just went all through it.
Oh, they say they didn't search my car. That's what they say. It was a protective sweep.
Right, which can only be done when somebody's arrested.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, so I looked it up when he said, look up protective sweep. I said, you bet I will, mother flower. And I looked it up right away. That's Captain Hansen told him that in the interrogation room that he agreed to go to watch the video that they wouldn't release to him, even though it was a year after he put in for the investigation to be done. They said they had conducted the investigation and that it was complete, but they gave him some bullshit runaround story that some of the documents had expired and they had new documents, so they had to send everything back through the layers in the chain of command of everybody who has to review the completed investigation. So now that was done, they agreed to sit down with him and show him the video, even though he just wanted a copy of it. They said, yeah, you could come in and watch it. And he's like, I just want a copy of it. Yeah, come in and watch it. So he went in and watched it with them. And he's like, you see, isn't that messed up? All right, give me this video. They're like, oh, no, you said that was messed up. So we're going to open the investigation again. You can't have it. It's an active investigation. So they're just clearly keeping this from him to be able to mount his valid, what a good attorney will take on as a action against them for violating all kinds of rights.
Look, if anyone sees this video footage, these officers are going to be fired. The two officers that were involved are going to be fired, especially in this climate. Look what they treated me. They pointed guns at me. I was in front of my house. I didn't do anything wrong. Nothing. Zero. And they said that they fear for their lives. Really? You fear for your lives? Then, I mean, oh my goodness. I have so much video evidence and so much audio evidence of the officers contradicting themselves in every aspect.
Yeah, they're saying, oh no, this isn't internal affairs. This is a patrol bureau investigation. And then they have the internal affairs guys. It's all bullshit and the worst cop-splaining, and they really think they're really slick. But you know what? This guy, 2 steps ahead of them, had it all recorded, is putting it up on YouTube. And there's so much more to the story that he's going to put up. There's like 4 or 5 more parts to this, right?
Yeah, so right now it's part 1. Part 1 is literally me talking on the phone. I understand it's a little boring, where it's just me talking to...
Not at all. No. I like hearing those conversations.
It will be a little boring, where it's me talking to Lieutenant Masalona from the Ruston District in Fairfax County. And then also it'll be Captain Hansen, right? His coward ass. He won't say shit, right? He's also in part 2 and part 3. So Captain Hansen is very crucial because in part 2 and in part 1, Lieutenant Masalona shows me the video, and so does Captain Hansen. They show me the video, but they did not expect me to show up with my own video camera. So I catch them on video camera explaining to me why cops drew guns on me when I did nothing wrong. So they cop-splain, and they do their best. And sorry for them. Guess what? Since that day, Since that day, no lie, since that day, neither one of them had contacted me. Neither one of them has nothing to do with me. I tried contacting them or asking for them. No one wants anything to do with me. Why? Because I make them look like a fool if they did. They made themselves look like a fool. They want nothing
Yeah,
with me.
and you're on their Facebook page and you're just commenting and you see another commenter and you got another banger story to put on your channel about Mr. Zhang, right? Victor?
Oh my goodness! Don't even
Is
start
it
with.
Victor?
I think Victor Zhang.
Yeah.
That is a completely different story. That right there is the coffin. I mean, the next one that I put is another coffin on top of the coffin, because this
Yeah,
one right here is like just. I mean, I
when
told this
when you
story.
when you
So
posted that story, I saw that and I just it was so weird because I had just gotten that really good question the day before and I sent you the screenshot of the comment where someone questioned. They said, "Hey, are you going to record if a woman goes into that police station reporting a rape?" And I said, "Well, that's a good question. Ethically, would it be right or wrong to do that?" Think about it. If someone is coming in to report a rape, he or she would have to be given an interview room like most police stations have. So that's the responsibility of the cops to give them the privacy, not for me to put my camera down. Now, let's take that same example and pretend that the rape allegation was false. Somebody was coming in there. Wouldn't you want to have that on record? That's where we come in. We can't be as much as they subject us, we can't be subjective. We have to be objective.
look, one
And
day you're gonna have some auditors, right? And I hope people are listening. Still, are people listening still?
yeah, we have 43 watching now.
Okay, great. I hope people are listening right now because there are some auditors out there that are doing a horrible job at this and taking advantage of the movement and taking advantage of the momentum, taking advantage of the people that are against these officers, and it pisses me off because it's not Rice Krispie, it's not me. I'm telling you right now, people that are trying to take advantage of this movement at
On
this.
that happy note, we do have to wrap up. And you were asking, Andre, what got me started in this? It's I saw someone, asking for money for tires, and I thought, I can make an enormous fortune. And that's what got me started. True story. Not a true story.
Good evening,
But
everybody.
yeah, thank you very much, Andre, for being
Yes,
here.
thank you.
Thanks for sharing your story. Thanks. Oh, I was making when you asked the question, I was just making a very sarcastic joke that I got into this for the money. I did not. This is not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this, like you said, for a legacy for our kids, like your father taught you.
Text me. Yeah, I don't know what's
For
going
sure.
on. I'm really confused.
It's nothing more than that. But no, we have to wrap up. It's just we've been on for an hour and a half, and I was just segueing. But thanks for being here and telling us your story as well as telling us Mr. Zhang's story on your channel. Everybody go and subscribe to ASD Docs so you can see that.
Rice Krispie.
Oh, is it on another channel?
No, it's not. But I just wanted
Oh,
them to know that it's subscribe to Rice Krispie, please. What a great individual.
yeah, no, and see all the great interviews he's done on his channel also. Semper Fi Joker Doc. Thanks, Snap Phase, Thomas Malone, and everyone for being here. Eyes on the State. You want to send us off? Bang style?